Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
We're live and we're late. How do you like that? Sorry about that. Come on in. I promise you I'm here. I promise you I'm here. So let's get some folks in here. Let's make it happen. Who's here? Who's in the house? You know, I haven't even written out this week's quote of the week. I haven't done much of anything. I've been really busy in the weeds. Weeds. Hello, Denise. And thanks so much for popping by. I really love that you're here. Vanessa, Paula, good to see you. Delightful to see you, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to give you the quote of the week without you know, anything, because I haven't written it out yet. I'm just, what a day, right? Already? I've been watching the news, crying my eyes out for good reasons, having you know what, there's been a lot going on, and I am just really, all I can say is I'm delighted that I'm here. I feel like this is, Soulful Saturdays are one of my favorites, because Soulful Saturdays drive me into my own place, and I have been doing a meditation thing with a friend of mine that has just been amazing. I'll share it to you when I'm done with it. I'm not done with it. I've had a lot of reading. We're doing a lot of things, applying this to our business. Our team is going, I feel like we're going up a whole new level. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what. You know what's so great? Is I have this vision finally in my head for what everything's going to be looking like, you know, for this new next year. I see things with a whole lot more value. Elizabeth just got her sprint kit, yay! And I'm excited about Monday, you know, and I'm going to be applying myself as diligently as you are. You know, usually I live loosely in a very sprint-like fashion. We have bone broth always. I always have greens. I always have something sprouting on the countertop. I've got my apple cider vinegar out. I mean, this is all the things that I do. But I am going to follow the sprint with you exactly as written. I mean, I usually somewhat do. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in just with you. I'm going to pretend that I'm just getting it for the first time, and I'm going to do it the way you're supposed to do it. So that's a decision that I made just recently, and I've told you about my internet, and I've asked you for prayers on my internet. It seems like it's going in and out. I have not been on that bike for, I don't know, weeks, because there's no internet to do anything with. I've been bouncing and what have you, but I really miss getting on the bike and sweating. So you know how it is when things just start to form and you have the vision of what it is that you want in your life? That is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be talking about the faith that we need in order to make those things happen, because it doesn't happen without faith. You have to have some faith. And that's why, of course, you know, our words are so important. The things that we think are so important. Our belief system is so important. But anyway, we're going to go to that, right? And on Monday, we're going to be talking about being strong and staying strong. One of my hearts is, and you guys know this because I've spoken about that before, is to see strong women. And I mean strong heart, mind, body, and soul. Like the Daily Dish, you know, this is how we bring vibrancy back into our lives, right? Is by girding ourselves up, heart, mind, body, and soul. We cannot do that unless we are on purpose doing that. Otherwise, we fall back into our old stuff. That's our carousel of crazy. Honestly, you know what the carousel of crazy is? The carousel of crazy is anything that keeps us stuck. Anything. And, we measure that, obviously with a measuring tape when we're taking our measurements in the morning. We measure that when we get on the scale. That's what we're going to be doing on Monday when we go full tilt into the sprint. And, of course, it's an anti-inflammatory plan, and it just doubly works. Everybody that I have ever put on this plan, thousands of people, women, really, primarily, because this is for women. But those women that I have put on these plans, I have never seen no one get results. Anybody who's been in full tilt all the way has always gotten results. And I have endocrinologists who actually like my plan and use it and give it to their patients. That's how good it is. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to say, let's get into the place where we need to go so that we can start setting up our vibrancy on all the levels. We've got to start, inflammation. You know where it's inflammatory? The television. That's where it's inflammatory. You know where else it is? Social media. There's an inflammation all over that. I can't even believe the garbage I'm reading. You know where else it is? It's in your mind, in your old thoughts, and in the stuff that holds you back from the real life that you want to live. The beliefs that make you small and tiny and shove you into a corner. We don't need to do that anymore, do we? We don't need to do that. When we recognize and see something that's wrong and off, we call it out. We say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. I'm not going to make myself small for your benefit or for your convenience. Step up into your life is our whole thing. We're stepping up into our life. We're stepping up into our vibrancy. And so on Monday, I'm going to teach you how to be strong and stay strong. We're going to be talking about the physical body, just using your body weight. I have a whole plan for you. It's 100% free, but you got to get signed up for the webinar. That's where you're going to get it. SaveMeDinner.com/strong. And don't worry if you can't make it at the 7 p.m. Eastern time on Monday. If you sign up, we'll send it to you live, okay? This is important to me. Strong women have control over their lives. Strong women make decisions that propel them forward. And we have to be strong. We cannot be one of these women who falls down and then can't get back up. One of the strength things, there's a strength test. I believe you can find it even on YouTube or Google around for it. I don't know. But it's a strength test of how strong you are. And how it also indicates your age. It's very interesting. And one of the tests is sitting down on the floor in a cross-legged position like this and being able to get up without using hands or anything else, just your legs to take you up. I barely did it. I just went, you know what? This is ridiculous. This is showing, and I used to be able to do that all the time. This is showing me where I have lost my strength. Losing your strength in your legs means you can't get up. Losing the strength in your arms, of course, we need that as well. And women are notoriously weak, upper body weak. But we need to be strong all over. Strong all over indicates that we're working on our bodies, we're working on our head muscle as well, right? All of those muscles are firing. And when all of the muscles are firing, we get to step in to being our very best. Strong, you can feel the difference between strong and not being strong. And it does have this carryover effect. It is a plumb line. It is a plumb line. Yeah, oh, I know. Dawn says, now all of us are trying that. I know, it's hard. It is hard. And it really, you'll feel it in your butt muscles. You'll feel it up. But it's free too. And we're going to give you the program as well on Monday night. So I'm looking forward to it. And the whole program, I worked out with a personal trainer, and there's photographs of me doing all the exercises and showing you exactly how to, okay, Catherine just did it. That's one of them. The other one is to do, is to put a knee on your leg and, just kind of like making a capital P, if you're going to do that with your body, and balancing on one foot for like 30 seconds. All of these things add up because that's the core of our fitness level. There's balance involved, there's flexibility involved, there's strength involved, cardiovascular fitness involved. All of these things play into your fitness level, and your fitness level plays into your health level. This is all predicated on what your health is or isn't. This is why it's important, and this is why I bring this all to the table, because we're not just one thing. We're not just food, and hydration and sleep. We're also fit, and our bodies are meant to be moving, as well as what I call functional fitness, where we're just moving, doing walking and doing things, cleaning our own houses and going outside and gardening, but making sure that there's movement involved. If you don't move it, you will lose it, right? You will lose it. Listen to me, I'm just kind of going off on this tangent. I haven't told you a thing about anything else, so we're going to be talking about that. I want to remind you also to go get your body clutter, your Wise Women's skincare. It's flying out the door. It's the whole trio. Here it all is. You can see all about it, read all about it, and get all the details and why each ingredient was put in there. For those of you who are like me with sensitive skin, sensitive everything, and you've had breakouts, you've had rosacea, or your skin just gets, there's certain skin stuff I just can't use. If you're sensitive to smells and all of that, this is the skincare line for you. It nourishes and feeds. This is nutrients really for your skin. Find out all about it at savingdinner.com/trio. I wouldn't let you down on that. I'm telling you, this came about because I just couldn't find what I liked. I had all this stuff, people sending me all this stuff. Do you know how many skincare companies have sent me stuff? Lots of stuff I didn't like. Might have liked the texture of it, but the smell I hated. You know how it is. Also, we've got the Bio Omega 3X in stock right now. Not only is it in stock, but it's also our supplement of the week. That means you're going to get an incredible deal on this Bio Omega 3 2X, 3X. No fish burps too. Massively important, because you know what happens when you're having fish burps? You don't care how healthy it is. If you're doing fish all day long, you're not gonna touch it. So you find our show supplements. This is, you put 3 in your cart. We'll put the 4th one in for you absolutely free. Not only will we do that, but if you put ships free in the promo window, we'll also ship it to you free. I love this stuff because it is a screaming deal when you get it. This is how you should be buying all of my supplements. I'm telling you, every single week, I will have a supplement on sale. Every single week, that's when you should take it, and you'll have the whole lineup. It's the way to do it. And you can also, spend a little money. You'll get this little free Pinkies Up Solidarity Cup. We do that. We do that. We have a club. Have you noticed? We are a wonderful club right here. We are a community of women who are all like-minded, who all have the same goal in mind, and that is to bring vibrancy back into our lives collectively. And we do that. And Monday, we start the sprint. savingdinner.com/sprint. Go get your copy of the sprint so that we can get this. Let's get this done. Let's get on it. Let's say goodbye to holiday weight gain and all that kind of garbage. Have we not baked enough? Right? Correct? Who's with me on that? Come on. Pinkies up, ladies. So today we're going to be talking about, and I know there's more that I'm missing. Oh, I'm also missing that we have Thanksgiving menus if you want that. And we do everything. Menus, recipes, shopping lists, timelines, all the things. All the things. And however it is that you have yours. If you paleo, keto, or classic, it's all there. Go to savingdinner.com/thanks. Sarah said, I'm so excited you're sprinting too. I usually sprint anyway. I sprint all the time, but I'm going to go to the place of actually following the exact sprint, making the exact smoothie, making everything exact, because it is a program that worked. I'm the experimental guinea pig on this one. So I created it and it worked. So why don't get back in there? Elizabeth said she got her Ava Jane pack. So yummy. It is so yummy. And y'all share. We've got things. I don't know what I'm going to give you for free this week. Maybe I might start even doing a supplement for free. How do you like that? By the way, if any of you have sleep issues and you haven't used our Sleep Ease or bought our Sleep Ease, go to savingdinner.com/show. The supplements are there. Go and get I'm telling you, buy the sleepy, that stuff, I don't know what it is. It's like Ambien, natural Ambien or something, but it just works like gangbusters. It's my favorite thing. Oh gosh. And I need this because I wake up so easily, but I mean, I stay asleep. It's crazy. So today I'm going to be talking about building ditches, digging ditches, because this was a sermon that I saw from Reverend Ike. And I can't even say Reverend Ike's last name, but he was from the, he was big on television, like in the 90s or whatever. And as a matter of fact, John Lennon got inspiration from him and wrote a song, Whatever Gets You Through the Night, was a song that he wrote because, I think that's what the name of the song was, because of something that Reverend Ike said. He used to stay up late at night and watch him because he found him so inspiring. But Reverend Ike might have been a little bit, you know, one of these prosperity kind of pastors. But I'm going to tell you, the thing about Reverend Ike is that he got it, though. He got it. And I one of the biggest things that I noticed with this sermon was just how he connected with the people, you know. How do you get your supplies? For what, Gail? Gail's asking how you get supplies. Can somebody please answer her? I don't know what she's asking. Supplies about what? And one of the things he got the Bible out, and he was talking about 2 Kings chapter 3, talking about how these kings had to get together and join forces, and God told them to go dig ditches. And it was kind of an unusual thing. And so they were digging all these ditches. Well, what was the purpose for the ditches? The purpose for the ditches was to be filled with water. Now remember where they were. You know, they're in the middle of the desert and all of that. And so it was an act of faith, really, to go out and dig all those ditches. But they had to go out there and do all of that work, and just ditches everywhere. They said that the valley was filled with ditches. Okay? Hold that thought. So when I read this and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, what are you doing here? Well, you're digging ditches in anticipation of what is to come. And when we do this, when we are building or creating or doing something with the anticipation, with the expectation of what is to come, then we get to see the fruit of all of that. It's basically curating a space, if you will, and holding a space for your expectation of what is going to come next, which is really a cool thing. And you know that the other thing I wrote in my notes is that God takes foolish things to confound the wise, weak things to confound the strong. And it's true. You know, he does this all the time. He does this, and this is the way that he shows you who he is. And this is also the way, in a smaller way, that we can show ourselves who we are and change and flip some beliefs. So when we are getting ready, like today is Saturday, we've got Saturday and Sunday, get the sprint plan, for example, read through it and start digging those ditches, start getting ready for this, start going through all of this. And this is why I'm saying this to you too, was after watching this sermon of just doing the work with the people to get and with expectation of what's going to be happening. We know what's going to happen. We understand what's going to happen because we understand the science of what's behind, like the sprint, for example. We understand the science behind all of the supplements that we have. We understand why they work the way that they do and what they do for us. But in order to get there, we've got work to do first. We got to go dig some ditches, lots of ditches. And you know, think about this too. The other thing that I had written down here is that remember that it's in a valley. And what is a valley? A valley is a low point. Haven't we all been in valleys before? Haven't we been in places of just absolute despair and despondency? But what if you grabbed a shovel and you started digging ditches in expectation that it's going to be different, that you're going to have your thirst quenched, that you're going to be able to have your cattle have water and have water for your crops? You get where I'm going with all this, right? This is what we do. When we do that amount of work, we get this amount of reward back. It's planting the seed, it's watering the thing, it's taking out all the weeds and all that. We've talked about that. But we need to create space for the beliefs. We need to create space for the things that we actually want in our lives. And I've got some things for you to do, some actual alignment assignments. If you're in the place, for example, and I've seen this with so many of you in the Hot Melt Sprint group, in our little Facebook group, smaller group than this, but it's our Facebook group, and I'm watching people show before and after pictures of themselves. This is me before and this is me after. This is me in this size jeans and this is me in 2 size jeans smaller. This is me in a pair of leggings. This is me doing this. All of these things are ditch building, ditch digging. They dug some ditches. The water came, and now look at this. Now look at this. This is how we get to the place of reaping all of the rewards of what it is that we want. Because as we dug the ditches, God filled it up with water. He does that, doesn't he? We make the space, he will fill it. And that's what and this is a principle. This is how God works. This is also how, this is a universal principle that you can take into your home. When you make space for things and take things out that don't belong anymore, then you get to fill it up with things that do belong, that do match, that are good. We do this with our head, with all the thoughts. When we start dumping old beliefs, we don't just dump a belief and just sit there in a vacuum. We replace that belief with something different. When we find a belief that no longer serves us, we get to get rid of that belief that no longer serves us and instead replace it with a belief that does. Do you get that? That's where it is. That's the whole thing. There is a constant ebb and flow. There is a constant give and take, reap and sow. That's the way it works. And it's wonderful because right now what I'm asking you to do is go pick up your shovel and start digging a few ditches. Start creating space in anticipation for the things that you want. Sarah, you're just taking the words right out of my mouth. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. This is part of the whole thing. She said, I'm making space in my clothes closet in expectation that my summer clothes will be too big next year. I'm going to ask you to do something that is an act of faith, and that's get rid of them now. This is the thing. When we want, for example, if you don't have any money and you're broke and you're thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do this and everything, and your focus is completely on the lack of what you have, let's change your focus, and instead, let's focus on what you do have. Go to the bank and open a bank account with $5. $5, $10, whatever it is that they'll do. But figure out a way to do it, because in anticipation of the prosperity that's going to come your way. Okay? Do you like that? That's number one. And number two is, if you are in anticipation of where you are with your life right now and just saying, you know what? I have been digging these ditches. I get up every day and I do a little movement. I get up every day. I've got my meals planned for the day. I get up every day in anticipation and expectation that I'm going to stick with my plan, because that's the thing that feels best for me. When we have all of this stuff put together, when we start putting this stuff together in expectation of what's next, we're digging ditches and we're holding space for the next thing. But we got to empty it out first. So if you've got a bunch of old clothes in your closet that are 2 sizes too big or whatever, and you hold on to them because what if you need them? Then you are not going to be in the place of removing an old belief that it's all going to come back. We don't want to lose weight. We want to eradicate it, is what we want to do. Do you have that right there? Do you have that? When we do that, that's the needle mover. That's the big change. That's the thing that says, okay, I see the space in your closet. It's time to put different things in there. That's when they see the space in your bank account, and now it's time to put things in your bank account. All of this connects. All of this connects, and it's not like some magical mystery, ooga booga, whatever. It's not. What this is anticipation, expectation, doing the work that you so that you can get to the next step. It's preparation. You know, we've talked about that before in building a house. When you build a house, you don't just walk onto a building site and say, okay, start building, guys. No, you got to level the lot. It's got to be marked off. Everything's got to be done. And that's what we're doing here. We're digging the ditches so that the water can come, so that we can take care of the things that we need to take care of and know that there is victory on the horizon because we're doing the work. We're curating the space for what is to come. So I love this because when we clear those spaces and we're taking out the garbage in our heads as well, I mean, this is amazing what happens. When we start saying no, that's just not going to work. When we start remember the clapping and shutting down the kitchen and bringing ourselves into the present, into the place of understanding and knowing what it is that we are in process of creating for ourselves, then all the things change. They all change. They have to change because you have created this new way of doing things. You have closed your kitchen, for example. You know, you have put a moratorium on snacking after dinner. You have made a decision that you're going to put your alarm on every hour so that you adequately hydrate and don't walk around in this place of dehydration. And then be frustrated because you're not losing any weight. Then be frustrated because you feel like crap. And then be frustrated because you're constipated or your joints hurt or whatever. All connected to dehydration. And you know, the other thing is that you are digging ditches in anticipation of what's next when you're getting yourself an education. When you're deciding you're worth the time to find out a little bit about how your body works and how you can leverage your assets and how you can also apply some pressure on the things that need applied to and the things that don't. I am telling you, this is powerful stuff. This is powerful stuff, and this gets us out of the treadmill of disbelief. This gets us out of the place of saying, I just can't. Because you can. You've proven it. You've gone out there. You have dug the ditches. It's manual labor, guys. It requires a little sweat on your brow. You can't just sit there and wait for transformation. Transformation happens in the struggle. We've seen that when we've watched a baby chick come out of an egg. We've seen that when we've watched a butterfly come out of a cocoon. Absolute transformation. What started out as this little thing in an egg is now a little chicken. What started out as a little worm is now a beautiful butterfly. Transformation happens when the struggle is allowed. But you know, the thing is with the struggle, and this is the thing that we have to be careful, a little precarious with. We don't stay on the struggle bus because the struggle bus, the egg never hatches and the butterfly never comes out. The struggle bus is just a minute of like, you know what? Yeah, it's a struggle, but I have this. There's work to be done, but I'm going to keep pursuing it. And what I have found and what I have seen over and over and over again with every single coaching client that I have that's been successful is that the minute that they make the choice and the decision to go forward and not quit on themselves, they get the victory. Eventually, some longer than others, whatever. Everybody's path is different. But the same plumb line applies to every single one of them. One, they show up. They don't just say, thanks for the plan and disappear. No, they're showing up. They're doing a Sarah, you know? They're doing, here's a picture of my bone broth. Here's this, here's that. I measured this morning. I did this. Here's my chart. Here's the this, here's the that. Because they are invested in themselves. They're invested in the results. They're invested in the digging of the ditches. They're willing to get their hands dirty. And they're willing to say, it's worth my time to invest in myself. And it keeps them present. It keeps them going forward. And you know what else? And I'm going to say this to my Sarah, Joanne, Lizzie, Jen, Emily, all of you, and I know I missed a whole bunch of you, who show up and do all of these things. Do you know how much encouragement you're giving your sisters who are sitting here thinking, I don't know that I can do this? Do you know how much encouragement you're giving? Do you know how important you are to this community? Do you know what kind of love that is? That is an unconditional love to a sister you've never met. And that's the hands and feet of Jesus right there working. That is. When we do this for each other, we say, you count, and I'm here. You're not there to brag and say, look at me, I'm so great. You're saying, here's the lesson I learned. Here's what I found from this whole thing. Here's the thing that's moving the needle for me. And all of a sudden, bing, somebody's eyes open up and they say, that's it. I see it now. Because you bothered to dig the ditch. You bothered to say, hey, I'm in it. You bothered to say, I am not going to sit back anymore and just expect. You bothered to say, okay, there's the carousel of crazy. I'm done with it. I want to get off. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? And there's your sister. She's posting, she's saying something, she's putting some stuff out that has moved the needle in her life, and you're seeing it too. It's clicking, it's dialing in. My expectation is that when you show up, that you're going to get exactly what you give out. It comes back. That's the law of the universe, if you want to go there. You know, this is just how it works. There is a whole balance, always, a constant balance in work. And it's in your mind, it's in your body, it's with your people, it's in your community, it's everything. Because this is how it works. But it's the people who go and they dig the ditches. And you know, it looks so different in all the different ways. But I'm telling you, you can't escape the work. The work has to be in place. You can't sit on the couch and hope that it just, you know, knocks on the door and says, hey, here I am. All your hopes and dreams showing up. And how satisfying would that be anyway? We love the fruit of our labor, don't we? Haven't you ever planted a garden and then just sat there and just said, look how beautiful this garden is, right? How many times have you done that? Vanessa's just talking about Norma, who puts out a good morning every single morning. Then she goes for her walk and she does her thing and she's on it. She's canning her bone broth. She's doing all those things. We wait for Norma to post because Norma brightens up everyone's day. She's doing it for herself, but she's also doing it for you. You know, that makes me cry. That makes me cry tears of joy. When we can connect like that, and when we say, you are enough, you're important to me, I show up for you, how amazing is that? And that's what I'm calling you to do right now today. Show up for each other. Dig the ditch so that you have the space in your life for the next thing that you want. And also, hold your sister up in community and understand that it's not about just you. It's about all of us. We do this together because we need each other. It's in our DNA. This is how we were created. Remember? Fearfully and wonderfully made? That's part of the creation. We need each other. And without each other, we're just a bunch of little in people suits, walking around, whatever, disconnected, sad, wondering what's next, trying to figure it out. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to figure it out on your own. What you do need is you need a path, and it's going to be very uniquely yours. But there's plenty of guidance here. There's plenty of people to show you the path and the way. And I'm here always for you, 100%. I will never, ever, ever leave you alone in your agony. You can always write me. I am always available for you. I've told you that 100 times, and I mean that with all of my heart. You know? You've got to dig the ditches, though. This is an instrument of faith, by the way. That shovel of digging the ditches. It is an instrument of faith. It says that you believe in your future. It says that you've got that belief system down. And that's what I'm saying to you. We've all been in the valley. We've all been in the low point. That's where the ditches are made, by the way. We've all gotten on the scale and said, what's happened? We've seen a picture and think, oh my gosh, that's not me. My Peloton group that I have, this one woman said, this is the picture that did it. And she has a picture of her. It's a side view and she looks pregnant. She's not. And she was horrified when she saw that. And then there's her after picture, you know, and it was 1 year difference, and the difference was just night and day. And yeah, you know, before and after pictures, great. But what I'm after for you is your health. What I'm after for you is the way you feel. What I'm after for you is the vibrancy that you want in your life. And what does that mean for you? Does that mean you need to take care of some weight stuff? Okay. Does that mean that you need to take care of some beliefs that are just outdated and not serving you at all? Then deal with it. We're not alone. There is no tragedy here. There is no valley that can't have some ditches dug into it. And I want you to remind you repeatedly, over and over again, if you get nothing from this, get this today. You are not alone. There are women here who are willing to hold you up and hold your hands and to stay with you and to be with you. There are women here in this fine community that love you and don't even know you. That's the quality of what we have here. That's the quality of what we have. So remember this as you're digging the ditches, that no matter how dried up and how rotten you feel or how hopeless you feel, the hope isn't going to be found in the valley. The hope isn't going to be found anywhere. Looking up. And then there's going to be a lot of women wanting to hold your hand because sent by God himself, I don't believe in accidents. Communities are made intentionally with people who are put together for divine purpose. And I believe that our purpose here is divine. We are put here intentionally by God himself on purpose to help one another, to build one another up, and to create vibrancy in all of our lives. And on my watch, no one gets left behind. Not a soul. Mean that. You will be filled up wherever you're dry and parched. Believe that. That's how we do it. All right, back to the day. I'm going to see if I can't do some more internet stuff, and I've got lots of reading and studying to do, and I will see you on Monday in the sprint group in the morning because I'm going to be posting in there. I sure hope you join me. If you haven't sprinted yet, you are missing out on an epic 7-day adventure. Go to saving.com/sprint. Get yourself signed up. It's free, and we've got all kinds of goodies there for you to download and to join us on. You don't want to miss out on that. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.